Hold on. I'm testing on my new ring lights. Can you hear me? You hear me good?
I hear you well. I hear you well. I hear you well.
Hi.
Hey, what's up?
I'm here. I'm alive and well. I'm blessed. I'm happy to be here, Kandid with Kandid.
Turn up.
Yes.
It's a little blurry, but usually that fixes itself on its own. Look, yeah, yep, it's almost there. I don't know what goes on with Instagram for some strange reason.
Because
We
I'm
can't
in mode, so nobody trying to. Because for some reason, people like to call you when you on
when
live.
you on live, yeah. They just want to be relevant. Like
I
I'm
think that
about to mess all your stuff up.
right.
Well, they'll let us know. Trust me. If
Okay.
it's because they want to see you. They don't care about me. They care about my shirt maybe, but not me.
Well, you
Um,
have a nice shirt on. What's that?
this is like my Zamunda 3000.
Oh,
Yeah, no, it's like a Gordon Gartrell from the Cosby Show.
yeah.
Look that I got going on.
You know what I mean? Rest in peace.
Oh yeah, you got a real one on you.
Yes, I love me some pie. It's one of my first crushes in life.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that tells me a lot
No,
already.
no, because I got all different kinds. It was just
Okay,
my number one, okay?
all right,
And then Tupac. So I don't have a type. I just want to let you know.
all right, all right. That's also good to know. All right. Well, obviously, I mean, with a name like Whitney, there's already something to that. There's a lot that goes along with that. So it's almost like foreshadowing to
Don't
begin with.
because that's why. Look, I don't know. I mean, well, some in the industry knew me first as Reign. I
Okay.
had by Reign. So when I ended up doing the four and going on the show, they weren't doing one names anymore. So, my real name obviously is Whitney. So I was like, I'm gonna have to put Whitney Reign on there. But I always went by Reign because I was like, ain't no Whitney. There's not another Whitney Houston. So let me just make that clear, But I do come from a musical family, and that Whitney is Whitney. So it's definitely that has something to do with my name. But I ain't trying to be.
Well, it's funny because when I first heard about you, I heard about you as Rain as well. So it all makes sense. But let me ask you about Chicago because
Yeah.
I've only laid over in Chicago. I've never been to Chicago in my life. So I want to ask you about Chi-Town.
Mm-hmm.
For someone like me who's never been, give me like a thing or two that I would have to do if I went to Chicago. Maybe not even a thing. It could be anything. Like if somebody's like, yeah, I'm going to Chicago for the first time, what would you recommend for
Well,
me?
definitely go downtown. Downtown is so beautiful. And I know Chicago is known for all of the violence, which is crazy because it's one of the most beautiful, cleanest cities you can ever go to. The summertime is beautiful, going to the lake, beautiful food. If you want to gain some weight, go to Portillo, go to Chicago because we got some of the best food ever. Portillo's, Harold's Chicken, as you know, get your 6-piece fried hard salt and pepper with mild sauce. And yeah, you just gotta go for the food and the atmosphere and the environment. It's a beautiful city. And shopping.
What's
Shopping.
what's the difference between Chicago style pizza and like New York style pizza? Is there a difference?
Isn't better. I mean, I love New York. I love it. I've been to New York. I love it. I love the vibe. I'm not saying the pizza isn't good, but I'm just telling you, in Chicago, we got them real Italians. That's what I'm saying. Real
Oh yeah.
Real Italians. So I'm saying that's the real sauce and the cheese and the meat, and that's grandma cooking. That's grandma's recipes. That's all.
I think Al Capone was like in Chicago too, right? I think he was like a gangster. Like y'all have some real gangsters.
It's
Uh,
some history there. Yeah.
you mentioned being a part of a musical family, and obviously Chicago has its own musical history that's rich and elaborate. But to be from a city with a rich musical history and to have a musical family, how did you deal with like influence growing up, and who influenced you most in that inner circle, I guess, and then outside of that inner circle?
Well, my grandmother, who is no longer here on this earth, she grew up, you know, back in the day. They had a different kind of mindset. Like my great grandparents, they were Jehovah's Witnesses, so they didn't believe in their kids going off to be singers. Like they had people at their door trying to sign my grandma and her sisters. Like seriously. So, but they were taught, you know, get a job, have a family. You know, that was that time. So when she saw me wanted to go for it, she was like, Nate, yes. She called me Nene. She's like, Nate, yes. So we would always sing together. My mom, she was too nervous, but she always sang in the house with us. So me and my brothers, we would all do like 4-part harmony with her. Our favorite song to sing was Dangerously in Love by Destiny's Child. Yeah, it had to be my mommy and my grandma. And yeah. And outside of that, you know, the influences I grew up, I love Beyonce, I love Michael Jackson, you know, Toni Braxton.
Hey, good choices. So did you kind of learn how to do like harmony and stuff like that through yeah.
Through my mom, and then I'm an Uber Brady. Um, so when I was younger, you know, back then people actually used to buy CDs. You know, I'm a 90s baby. So for Christmas, you was getting CDs, like, you know, and I would listen to Brandy, the Full Moon album, and I would practice learning how to riff by listening to her. In a lot of, but she was like my favorite, you know, her tone, the work is timeless. It's timeless, and you know, it's still today's R&B is based off of what she was doing back then. You know what I mean? Off of R&B. So it's like, you know, Brandy, that's my girl.
Okay, so not to take too many lefts away from what I was going to ask you, but real quick, I'm sure I already know the answer to this, but what's your take on the Brandy Monica versus?
Oh my god. Okay, so I love both of them. This is one of them situations where I can't choose. You know what I mean? I love and respect the both of them. They're both iconic. They're both amazing vocalists. They both have hits on hits on hits. And especially now too, I live in Atlanta now. And Monica's from ATL. And just knowing some people in her inner circle and just where she comes from and her story and just everything, I couldn't choose. So the whole time I was watching, I was like, yes, sis. Like, go. Go. And a lot of people don't know too. Back in the day when I was signed to Def Jam, me and Brandy were both working with Sean Garrett at the same time on our albums. So I got the opportunity to meet her when she was first doing that tour, linking with her and Monica. And I got the opportunity to be in a room with both of them. And I was just like, oh, put some of that on me. Give me some of that sauce. Some of that sauce. So yeah.
Yeah, I think people kind of tried Monica on her catalog a little bit. Monica's catalog is tough.
They did. They did.
But you know, so I was glad it was able to go off the way it was, you know, meme culture and everything like that aside. I think it was good, but I
you
was
know,
curious.
fans make things messy, you know, and I love everybody, but it's like y'all make stuff messy because, you know, that's why I don't get too caught up in the internet, because sometimes you see all these posts and then you feel away. Like, that's why I'm glad that they handled it like two strong, beautiful black women, and they bossed up and killed it, period.
You're probably one of the few people who's ever probably been in the room with both of them at the same time.
I'm honored. I got a picture somewhere. I keep looking for it. The person who posted it years ago. This was back in 2013 or 14. Freddie O. I don't know if you know who Freddie O is. Yeah, the picture's up there somewhere. So somebody find it. I was looking real crazy back then. That's before I did my makeup, and I used to wear crazy outfits. But you know it's me. Still look the same.
Tell me about being signed at a young age. I'm interested to know what that process was like, and also when speaking on it, I want to know what your take on it would be if you were advising someone who's got a talented youngster, whether you would recommend it, what you would say to look out for, that type of thing.
My experience was beautiful. It wasn't perfect, My label loved me. Everybody believed in me, but it was honestly too many chefs in the kitchen. So I'll say that. And I also came from, I came from a musical family, but we also never really, nobody really got deep into the music business industry enough for us to really know. So, my dad's managing me. He come from working a regular job. My mama working a regular job. I came from high school. We don't know. I just want to sing. Mama, I want to sing. You know what I mean? So I didn't know nothing, nothing else. And I really wish I would have spoke up for myself a lot more. But I will say this, mom and dads, if your children are interested in this and you have the belief in them, that they have the talent, be there with them in them studios. Have their back, listen to them. Please be there for them, because I haven't had any crazy situations happen to me in the name of Jesus, because I think people just know I'm not the one. But I have heard some crazy stories, and I believe that you got to be there for your children, because you don't want them put in any positions that they don't need to be in. And sometimes when some people can see a vulnerable person and they so that's how this music industry is. It's a dog eat dog world, and just be there for your children. That's and support them.
So post Def Jam, what was the immediate route or path that you took?
Oh, it sucked. Just being honest, I went from, and I'm not saying I still have all of my relationships. I could talk to whoever now. Everybody still has love for me. But at that time, like I said, I didn't know how to speak up for myself. And I was also dealing with depression, not really understanding everything that happened. I was like, is it me? You don't know. So at that time, I started working a job, making my own money, paying for my own studio sessions. I would literally be working from sun up to sundown, be in the studio at 3 o'clock in the morning, open up a cafe at 5 a.m. You know what I mean? But I love music that much. You know what I mean? So I just kept recording, kept grinding. And then a year after that, I ended up getting pregnant. Peekaboo. So and that didn't slow me down, but it did. I needed to take time for myself. I needed to take time I'm a workaholic. So I never took the time to really just nurture my mind, my body, my soul. And at that point, it was about my baby. So I took that time to step back. And as soon as he came out, it's back in the gym. It's ready.
Yeah. So when you were first learning to record, was it during that early process when you were signed, or were you learning after that point, and how did you kind of acquire that like skill set?
Yeah, I had been recording way before I got signed. When I was in Chicago, I used to work with these producers called J Stone PA. Shout out to the Fly Boys. I don't think they're no longer the Fly Boys anymore, but they were the first people that believed in me. And I would knock on their door after school like, hey, I want to record. Like, I got a song in my head. I started writing it in English class. I need to get this down. So it started with them, and we were all learning together. You know what I mean? They had just started learning what auto-tune was, and getting Pro Tools. So I was kind of like their project and their baby. You know what I mean? It started with them. So they taught me a lot, and they also taught me about making a song from scratch. A lot of people don't do that no more. I was blessed to be able to start out that way. Like, okay, this is what I hear in my head. He would go, you know what I mean? We start with the melody, and then we all start the lyrics. So that's just, I started the right way, I guess.
Yes, you did.
And it stuck with me. And I'll always be appreciative of them and always have love for them. So shout out to J Stone PA.
Yeah, I think it's so understated how, being a performer or even songwriter or anything, there's still a studio acumen that you got to get accustomed to. Like if somebody's said, hey, stack that, if you don't know, like that's a whole nother different type of vocabulary,
Sean Garrett told me a new one. I'm tell you, I had a reality check. When I got in the studio with him, I thought I had it together. He said, no, do that again. Do that again. No, that was a little flat. Do that again. I said, I used to be in the back like, oh. But I would tell him, no, I get frustrated. But that how hard he was on me made me the recording artist that I am. And I will always be grateful for him for that. He taught me. That's one person I say, well, that taught me so much. He taught me so much. So, yeah, he made me cry a couple times, but he taught me.
How did you keep your like your confidence during those times? Like when people would be like, "Oh yeah, come again." One of my boys, Pierre. Anytime I'm in the studio with him, he'd be like, "Yep, come again," or he won't even say nothing. You just hear it over again. You hear it start again. You're like, "Dang."
You know what? I grew up an athlete. And I think that had a lot to do with it. Me and being in competitive cheer, me being in gymnastics, me being in dance. And I was always fighting to be the captain. I was always fighting to be in the front for my front spot. So that's why, I mean, anytime I'd be like, okay, you want me to do? Okay. It may come off a little bit more aggressive, but that's what I feel kept my confidence. I just, I'm a workaholic and I'm a competitor. So. Yeah.
I think that helps too. Like I grew up playing sports. I grew up having brothers and a sister, so it was like the competition piece and trying to just rise to a certain level. You
Yeah.
know, it helps you deal with all these other things. I used to be mad because my parents used to let us do everything, and I would, and I'm like, maybe when I was like 20, I used to be like, dang, I wish they would have just made me do this one particular thing, but I didn't realize how much the other things they let me do play into the psyche, the
Mm-hmm.
resilience, the confidence, being able to overcome adversity when you're dealing in this music game, which is really a combination of everything. It's a mental, there's a mental game that's played a lot, in this industry.
Listen to music first. Honey, did you listen to it? Because I learned my lesson.
Yeah.
What's crazy is like I said, I've never had any crazy situation. Ooh, can you see me?
Yeah. Oh.
I never had any crazy situations when it came to my relationships in the music industry. It was always my relationships. But, what was crazy is the catch too, because those are the best songs, ain't they? It's the best inspiration. It is the best inspiration, but that was the tragic part for me. Everybody used to be like, girl, if you don't leave that boy alone.
Yeah. Listen. I used to have this thing for older women, right? And I was like a teenager thinking I was trying to get everybody's groove back. That's just like there's a movie Stella got her groove back, right? And Tay did. I just thought I was Cam Diggs up in this mug. And it wasn't until I got with a woman who was older than me and she just took me through the ringer. And I was like, I ended up being homeless for like 4 or 5, like about 4 months. Yeah. And I was like, I can't.
Where's she at, Karen?
Listen, that's a whole nother conversation. She's around. And here's the thing, she was managing me too.
That's where you made you don't ever. That's one thing I haven't done. I ain't mixed business with pleasure. I can't. I heard too many crazy stories. Some it works out, but at most, I gotta sip my water.
I read. I was reading. I read on everybody. So I was reading about how you were presented with the opportunity to be on the four.
Mm-hmm.
And I read, the internet can be wrong, as you pointed out earlier. But I read that some of that, at least interest, came through Instagram. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. Or social media? Yeah. So I wanted to ask you a little bit about that. And also, unfortunately, women end up being the prey in the entertainment industry as a whole, and especially in the music industry. When someone has got something that they know that you want, they will dangle it in front of you. And it happens to women a lot more than it happens to men. That is just what it is. But I wanted to find out kind of what made you say, this might be something I would be interested in, especially coming in the way that it came. And also, what advice would you give to young women who are out there who are trying to get in the business, don't have any relationships, but might be contacted through a medium like an Instagram in order to pursue their dream?
Well, the guy who reached out to me, first I checked, we had mutual followers, so that was number one. But I told my daddy. I told my daddy. That's what I did. And we all got on the phone. I don't care how old I am. I'm going to tell my daddy and I'm going to tell my mama and whoever I got to call because, you know, call me a baby, call me whatever. That's my inner circle. That's my trust. Those are the people that know me the most. You know what I mean? And we ended up getting on a call with him. Shout out to Joshua Hart. Huh? I'm gonna need, excuse me.
Is that Levi?
I thought I locked the door. Well, we're here. All right, close the door. Well, so shout out to Joshua Hart, who was one of the producers from before. And we all got on the phone and, you know, he made me feel comfortable. We had a good conversation and, you know, we kept in contact and we did our research as well.
I have some cups and my light shoot.
Really?
You want to see how I shoot the cups?
Yeah. I want to see.
Ma! Hold on.
I wanted to see how you shoot the cups.
This is a real, I need a reality TV show, don't I? No. Son, can you go upstairs for just a moment, okay? I just got to finish this can if we can. All right, well, here we are. Yeah. Shout out to Joshua Hart. And like I said, giving y'all advice on that. Whoever's closest to you, keep them informed on, you know, who you talking to, whatever it is, because you don't want to be in a sticky situation, you know. And yeah, sorry.
No, that's all good. I love it. This is what this show is all about.
Yeah.
You would be surprised. What's up? Bonjour.
Levi, you want to be a singer when you grow up? What you want to sing?
Pop Smoke with the Woo.
He said, "Pop Smoke the Woo."
Oh, what?
Pop Smoke with the Ooh.
With the ooh, not with the ooh.
Right now, he goes between, man, I want to listen to Michael Jackson Zombies, which is Thriller, and Pop Smoke the Woo. So I'm like, you got a real crazy.
And then, Hi Monkey. Hi Monkey.
That's Annie, are you okay? That's cool.
And I'm back. I'm back. You know it. I'm back. You know it.
Hey.
How's your Shimon, Levi? Do you have a Shimon yet? No. Honesty. That's what I need.
You know, we're the same sign. He's a Virgo like me.
I want to show you. I want to show you how I shoot.
You don't even know what you're laughing at, child.
I want to show you how I shoot the cups.
Shoot. Can you show me how you shoot the cups? I need to be shooting some cups over here.
Look.
Hold on. Now I'm about to expose my room. Hold on. Look. Yeah, this is his new thing, y'all.
Look. You want to see that again?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So we gotta get the nut ones.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
gotta knock the rest of them down.
You want to see it again?
Oh, Jesus.
Turn up!
Yes, turkey.
All right. Drink for this.
I love it. This is what it is. This is not pre-planned. We are just kicking it. You got your PJs on. Oh man, that look like Cookie Monster too. We friends now.
Cookie Monster.
Can you do me a favor? Can you let mommy talk for a little bit and then we can come back and dance and do whatever you want? Okay?
And do Pop Smoke with the Woo.
And Pop Smoke with the Woo.
On the computer.
Okay, on the computer.
I want the song.
Somebody asked if I'm still single. Yes. And I'm gonna be that way for a while.
Mom.
All right.
I'm gonna.
I want to ask you.
Hold on, baby.
Who's bad?
Who's bad? I'm bad. My shirt's bad, or it might be good. What you think? Do you like my shirt, Levi?
Yes,
Thank
I
God.
do. Look.
Hold on.
Look at this
Okay.
one.
This is what we need to do. You want to take pictures so Mama can finish talking?
You want to see it?
No, he can't see it right now. I need you to take some great pictures on photo booth.
You want to hear what the ooh?
Well, go ahead and ask me.
Oh, so tell me, what makes a great song choice on a show where you're gonna be performing in a performance setting? What goes into making a song choice that's gonna like be good for you?
I usually go by how I feel.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You know, you obviously got to fit what's in your range and what you're most comfortable with, you know, but I don't know. It was different for me on the show because that was my first time like working with the big band and background singers, you know what I mean? And for me, I'm so used to being at the crib and just arranging things the way I do it. So it was actually, it pushed me a lot. And it made me, I feel like, a better performer. Like, as far as you got to be, you know, every single week we're doing something different. You know, you only got so many days to rehearse. In between that, you're doing B-roll, interviews, you know. So that experience was dope. Because I never been through that before.
I was flying up the top of the sky, and I was flying down.
That's what, yeah.
And
so I was flying at the top, and I was singing.
Yes,
and when I was trying to figure out these songs, I flew.
I teach them how. Yes,
you gotta do what's in your range, and you gotta feels good to you. You know what I mean? And me too, being an R&B artist, I felt like it was important to sing songs that, you know, are true soulful records that people, you know what I mean, that to show that I know where I come from, that I know my R&B history, you know what I mean, my rhythm and blues. So I thought that was important too.
Do you connect more with happy songs or sad songs?
Sad songs. Is that weird?
No. I feel the same way.
Yeah, I love, don't play that now. I don't want us to get in trouble for copyright. But I'm such an emotional person, and trust me, I love my happy songs, but it's something about a good cry record.
Hey, Mommy, can you find a better song?
We have to wait, honey. We gotta wait because we're gonna do the woo later. But yeah, I connect more with my emotional records because I'm a simp. I'm an emo.
Oh boy. You mentioned, actually I read this. For me, I don't personally, if I go too many days without sleep, I start to get sick. And obviously it affects everything. I'm wacky. I had a live stream performance earlier and it was only 3 songs and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be good. But we were taping, so I had to do each one twice. By the time we got to the 3rd song, the second take, I was having to maneuver and everything. It's because I haven't been sleeping. So I read that, you know, sleep factors for you into your ability to be able to do things. So I wanted to ask you, how have you been able to kind of identify, now that you've identified that, how were you able to kind of maneuver around that or find a way to get that rest?
Melatonin. To be honest, and now I found different remedies. Like I meditate.
Mom, can I show my ugly face?
Hold on. Meditation. I got my candles over here. I got my air purifier with my essentials oils. You know.
I got an ugly face going on here.
Okay.
Your face is anything but ugly, Levi. Everybody is just taken by your face.
He's talking about that. You know, photo booth got the effects on there where it torture your face like this. That's what he's talking about. But my teas, yeah. At that time too, like I deal with anxiety. I found that out later.
Dark day,
baby. I found out that I have anxiety issues, which I never knew I suffered from. But I don't know if you've ever felt or like, you know, you got a show the next day, you're so anxious and it's hard for you to fall asleep. So I was dealing with that a lot too while I was on the show, because I would be sitting there thinking about my choreography that I was practicing in my room in my head, my steps. You know, I'm a perfectionist, so I literally would drive me crazy. So I had to I had to tone it down, you know, and just figure out how to breathe, you know. I don't know, but that was a struggle for me, and I learned. That's why I said I learned so much from being on that show, because I never had consistent back to back performances like that. So now I know melatonin.
Yeah, I have melatonin. I just don't know like when to take it, because I'll still be dragging when I wake up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, do I take one? Do I take two? How far ahead of when I want to go to sleep do I take it? I'm no good when it comes to sleep.
Yeah, because you know those are too. It's like the schedule changes so much. Like, you know, one week you could anything going on in the morning, but then the next week when you're on, you may have a 7 o'clock a.m. radio interview. You may be having to be on set at this time, getting your makeup done. You know, and women, it takes us longer too. They got to do hair, boom, boom. That's like 2-3 hours. So, you know, it was different, and I honestly wish I had been taking more vitamins at that time, because I was talking to people at the show. I was like, dang, I really went from working at Tropical Smoothie like as a manager straight to the show. So, you know, some people on there too, and I'm not making no excuses, because I did my thing. But, you know, some people were really performing like full time, like were used to it. Like me, I was like, yo, I'm used to flipping that, you know, scooping that, pressing the button, and then practicing and then washing the dishes in the back, you know. So, but my lesson is learned. I've learned so much, and I'm still proud of how everything went. Like I was a finalist.
Yeah.
Okay, that's that. That's a
Listen,
big deal for me.
it's a big deal. It's a big deal. I know quite a few people who've not done the four, but done some other things,
Yes.
and it's a myriad of responses. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I've had my run-ins, you know, as well, and I keep on the low. But you know, it definitely builds. You definitely learn something, especially like the moment too. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
learned. The moment, you
Yeah.
know, how to create a moment in a performance, because that's what's going to make people push a button or vote for you or whatever. When you that Whitney Houston, I remember somebody explained it to me like, Whitney Houston, I will always love you, the moment.
I'm sorry. I was like, can you get him?
Oh, it's all good.
Oh.
But the Whitney Houston moment and I Will Always Love You is like a classic example of the moment that will make people moved out there in TV land. I did not understand that beforehand, but
I
I understood it after the fact, you know?
being on them shows, they teach you like they kept telling me too. Shout out to Adam Blackstone, amazing, amazing, and he would always say you gotta end the song, like you gotta end it, you know, and the ending is, you know, it could be a riff out or it could be that big note that you hold out or whatever it is. You gotta leave them with the moment somewhere in the song where you capture the like, and they holding on to their breath. You know what I mean? So I I wish I could go back. I actually miss miss being on that show. I miss them. I want a reunion.
That would be nice. I would watch. I'm sure people out there will watch too. People trying to shoot their shot.
I,
I'm just, hey, listen,
look,
I can't even comment on that.
2021, and that's dang near 2022, because
Mm.
I relationships. I don't know what being single is like. It's the first time I've ever really been single. I was in a relationship on and off for 10 years, so this is my first time like just breathing, not worried about calling somebody what they doing. They worried about what I'm doing. I'm just focused on me, my son, my music, my healing. Cause when you have separated from somebody after 10 years, hey, that's some time that you gotta rebuild yourself. You know what I mean? So I don't even want to play games with nobody. I'll break your heart at this point. Just give me Give me some time.
All right, fellas. Now I helped you out there. Yeah, I got you what you wanted. All right.
Oh,
Now simmer down. All right. Um, go take your sandals off, because I know y'all wearing leather sandals over there.
uh-huh.
Um, anyway, let's talk about music therapy.
Yeah.
Goes without saying that music is therapy.
Okay.
All right. But when I listened, I've never heard a track one like that before. Never in my entire life. But I wanted to talk to you about the first song,
Mm,
the first track.
yeah.
Um,
Let it out.
Let it out. I mean, I think it's some people think this type of topic is overstated. It's not, you know. As much as we talk about it, doesn't make it any easier to deal with things that come into your own cipher, if you will. So I listened to it. I listened to it more than once, and it was very honest. You know what I mean? And there were a couple of things that struck me. One was, well, the main thing is how you talked about your hearing your grandmother's voice and how that really made an impact on you. I wanted to ask you about that moment, what that moment was like for you, because I've had moments where my ancestors have come to me and given me guidance, and it's a real sobering moment. You know what I'm saying? You really take it seriously and everything like that. But I wanted to ask you about that, and in the context of Let It Out in general.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it still so hard, you know, for
Correct.
people to be that honest?
Um, First thing I'm gonna say is that God and our angels and our ancestors, it's all real. Um, I always believed in God my whole life, but that moment it was like He's here. Like I really, I ain't see Him physically, but I was hearing Him in my angels, my answer. I was hearing everything at one time. Um, it was also a scary moment for me. Some people, I called it technical terms, right? People say it's a mental breakdown or whatever. I call it a spiritual awakening. Um, that was a moment in my life where I had left my toxic relationship. My life and the life of my child had been threatened. So that was probably the most fearful moment in my life. I've never been scared that much. And you know, when they say when fear comes, that's when the devil tries to creep in. And I don't know. I can't even. It felt like an out of body experience for me. It felt like I was hearing my grandma leading my actual spirit back to my body because I was becoming a shell of a person. I don't know how to. It was very scary. Some people probably call it a possession. I don't know. Something was trying to take over me, and I feel like whatever darkness he had on him was trying to jump onto me and take me out. And it was like whatever that spirit was kind of trying to tell me. I've never been suicidal a day in my life, and God, I pray for those who are struggling with that. But it was like the spirit was trying to tell me to take myself out. So I was fighting back with this spirit, like, no. And I kept hearing my grandma say, he's trying to take you, Whitney. Fight, fight, fight. Like I kept hearing it. And yeah. So it was a very intense moment, and but that was also a moment where my connection with God became even stronger. Um, yeah, and later after that, I was hospitalized. It was a whole.
Wow.
A lot of people don't know that. So that's all about what Let It Out is about. I was hospitalized. I thought that that was a joke. I really thought somebody was punking me. Like I never experienced anything like that in my life. But another moment when I realized God was real when I was in the hospital bed and it was dark and I didn't have my family and I didn't have nothing. I closed my eyes and I saw butterflies and I saw flowers blooming. And I know that was God saying that I'm still here with you wherever you are. Wherever you go, I'm here. So You feel my throat get tight. Like, hold it together. But yeah, yeah, it's a real thing. God is real, and he brought me back. My grandmother helped bring me back, and now I feel so free. I feel like this is like one of the best feelings I've ever felt. Like everything, every problem, every issue I ever went through in my life, I told my family everything. Can't nobody dangle shit over my head. Excuse my language. You know,
Good.
that's closest to me. Know all my dirty laundry, everything I've ever felt, every heartbreak, tear, anything I've ever done wrong, anything that's ever been done wrong to me, they know about. And we all love each other, and we're all here for each other, and that's all that matters. So yeah, that was Let It Out.
Wow. The process of creating the records, the recording process, let's say, when you go into the booth, to be that honest about elements of your life, do you try to separate yourself from it a bit in order to execute, or do you just use it in order to give that authentic delivery?
To be honest with you, Cam, the Let It Out was the last record that I recorded. The rest of those records I recorded outside. No, I'm sorry. Let It Out and the last song were the most recent. The other ones I recorded were right before I was hospitalized, and I was still like, so God was separating me from that part of myself for me to be able to execute. So when y'all go back and listen to those records, and you listen to Same Routine, and you listen to Right From Wrong, Dirty, I was still like out of it. So there was a different kind of thing, like, for me. I don't even remember sometimes some of that stuff that I recorded. So that's like I was out of it. And but the last song in Let It Out, that was back when I was back to my center. And so it was a little bit more difficult to record those records because I was back and aware and, you know, feeling everything all over again, you know. So, and, you know, I was recording it with my brother. Me and my brother wrote this stuff together. So imagine him, like, that's my son's uncle, you know, and he's having to be strong for me and record me while he fighting back tears. So it was a lot. It was a lot for my family. We went through a tough time, but we are some warriors. We are some strong people, because that's one thing about us, like, that I love about my fam and what my parents instilled in all of us, being both of my brothers. Like, you can overcome anything. You can do it. Keep fighting. You know, fight for what you believe in, and they've always supported us. So,
I want to ask you. We've all been introduced to Levi and his essence, and for me, like, well, not even for me, but I'll give my personal stuff. Anyway, my mom used to always tell me women were crazy and stay away, watch out for the crazy ones and this and that. My mom is she's a little spirited. She used to always scare me and this and that, but she was a very tough lady on me and my siblings growing up. So I say that as a preface to the fact that a lot of men out here, their first teacher, their first influence is their mom. You know, they learn about what they might like, what they might not like, you know. And most of the stuff they believe as gospel based on the fact that their mom is the first teacher, and they're going to trust. What is it, as you're raising Levi? What's going to be your approach, or what is your approach to? I don't want to say talking to him about women, but even when you're not talking to a man about a son about a woman in a certain context, even as a little kid, boys are being informed about how to interact with everyone. So I was just curious, how, have you thought about that at all, or what's your intention as it relates to that?
I actually, to be honest, I haven't thought about it. We just kind of go day by day, and I just watch him grow. For me, I mainly just been focusing on teaching him about who God is and learning his prayers and knowing that God is real. We talk about God a lot, and you should hear him pray. It's the cutest thing in the world. Um, but I talked to him a lot about God, and I talked to him a lot about, just being a good person and being honest. I always tell him, like, he watches these, I gotta watch some of the stuff he watches on YouTube, because these little kids be talking crazy on that YouTube, and like, don't tell me. And I'm like, don't listen to that. Tell mommy everything. Everything that goes on in school, everything that goes on with your teacher, tell mommy everything. Because I want to teach him about having an open line of communication and just being completely honest. I don't want him to I suffered a lot with holding everything in, and I feel like that's why I like combusted, like the way I did. I don't want him to feel that way. I want him to be able to come to me about anything that he's struggling with, because I don't want him to sneak around and do, you know what I mean? I don't want him sneaking around in these streets and doing nothing crazy, but I also want to be strict on him enough to know don't be doing no stupid stuff in these streets too. Yeah. So, it's that fine line. Like, I'm definitely going to give him that tough love, but also that genuine love and support and that nurturing, because, shoot, I mean, my baby's been through a lot in his little short. He saw a lot, and that's why I had to leave that situation. So not only have I been dealing with my therapy, but I've been dealing with having to be his therapist in a lot of ways. He's turned around full circle from me leaving, that situation, and he's a completely different kid. He ain't dealing with his anxiety no more outbursts, no more nothing. He's just a happy baby, and I'm proud of him, and I'm proud of me and him, and just where we are. So
same. I know everybody else out there is too. Wow. Whew.
Yeah, I got a Tyler Perry movie, don't I? I'm gonna write.
Listen, I mean, art imitates life, they say. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like music therapy, like I said, most people won't even address how they feel with something that makes them feel free. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me how music is the thing you love. It's the thing that empowers you. It's the thing that this and that. But there's so many artists that won't address whatever they're going through in that very same medium that it's almost like living a lie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because it's not easy to put yourself out there, right? For me, I'm at a space in my life. Obviously I put the EP out, and I know there's gonna be some people that talk and da 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 da, and it's like, that's why a lot of people don't air out their dirty laundry. You know what I mean? But I got to a space in my life where I'm just like, look, if you don't want to listen to it, cool. But there's some girl over here that needs to hear this, that's stuck in a situation and that needs a voice for her so she can get the hell out of there. You know what I mean? That's where it was. But I understand why some artists don't come out and tell all their business, because, there are some really cruel people. Me being on national TV, I have people attacking my family, don't even want to know my family, talking crazy about my son. You know what I mean? I'm like, I will. But I will. But I'm, past that. But, but it comes with the territory, so being transparent. I shout out to all my artists who are out there just spilling the beans, because there are people out here that really, really, really share some of the same hardships, the same heartaches, all of that as you, and need you to do that. So shout out to us, and we some tough ones, I tell you, because it ain't easy.
It's not. It's not easy. It's way easier being in the audience, than it is being on stage. It takes a certain amount of resilience to just get on stage and put yourself out there like that. Most people don't have the heart for it, period. I wanted to ask you how, I kind of have my own assumptions, but just in case, I wanted to ask about your resilience. It seems like family, your faith, you know, things that you've already overcome. Those a lot of times end up being the things that allow you to feel like you can overcome something else. You know what I'm saying? Where you're like, well, shoot, I already made it through that.
Okay.
So I can make it through this. So, but let me ask you about music.
Mm-hmm.
After music therapy, is the route a second wave of music therapy, or are you feeling free to do whatever now?
Um, I will tell you this. I know a lot of people haven't been seeing me singing online and all this, you know, people like, where's the songs? Where's more? We want more. But I've been taking this time to plan, write things out, come up with some treatments, write out all of my ideas. I don't want to spill all the beans and the scoops, but I will say that my next project, I'm going to continue on with music because I'm going to give y'all some visuals. So that's going to be number one. I will tell you that. Music therapy is going to have some visuals, period. But you know, COVID came through and said, so
Right.
I'm working on that. But my next project is definitely going to be, I'm not going to say a spin-off of it, but it's going to be about my healing. Because even through, right, and I know I said that was the last song, but I'm still dealing with stuff. You know what I mean? And if you listen to the EP, you realize that there's a deeper connection with that relationship, you know, involving another life. You know what I mean? So there's still stuff that I'm dealing with. And I'm not trying to air out anybody's business, but for me, this is how I've been keeping myself afloat. And right now, I've been thinking about that person. It's time to think about me. Okay? So I'm definitely going to be giving you guys more transparency, honest music, and I think it's important to show the light at the end of the tunnel. So I want to show, you know, put some healing in my music and just show people that, you know, it ain't all sadness all the time. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be open to doing some
That's
different
what's
stuff.
up.
But yeah.
Yeah, I hope to be able to work up something on the guitar or something that you can be inspired by and
If it
rock
sounds
out.
in the beginning, let me tell you, send me something right now. Send me something right now. You got my number. Send it over. Because you know, as creatives, we'll be making breakfast and you randomly hear a melody. You know what I mean? In your head. I have those moments all the time. That's why I keep my phone on me because I'm in there like. Doo-doo-doo-doo. So if you ever want to send me something and it works and it meshes and we like the vibe or whatever, I'm always down. I'm never like, I don't be like, I'm not gonna work with them because they're not. No, we all. You can pull anything from anywhere.
Yeah,
Period.
for
So
sure, for sure. I
amazing.
wanted to I know I'm gonna give you the last word, but I wanted to make sure that I tell you I appreciate you for doing this. You know, a lot of times people look at quantity over quality so much. They judge books by their cover so much. You know, you're in school, they're like, don't judge a book by their cover, but they never tell you that that's what's done the majority of the time. So it's like, I appreciate anybody who's willing to speak with me in a way that's the non-traditional um, format. Um, and I don't look to provide anything for anybody. I don't look to provide an outlet for anybody to speak to me or an outlet for people to watch what it is we're talking about for any other reason than to be positive and to support artists in the proper way. So I appreciate you blindly trusting that was going to happen and being willing out the gate to do it. I also want to say that I applaud you for the EP. I listened to the whole thing, and I encourage everybody else to do so. But I am going to um, first say I appreciate Trosha, my sis.
Yeah.
Um, V Script, he joined in for a second.
Yeah.
Um, Heather Beverly,
That's my.
yes, yes. So we have a bunch of mutual connections in common. So I just, it's fine. It's great to finally get to talk and everything like that. So I am going to turn it over to you. There are people out there who want to hear from you, and then I'll sign off. So the floor is yours.
Um, First of all, Cam, thank you for having me. And thank you guys all. Thank you for tuning in and listening and, just vibing out with us. And I pray that you guys, if you haven't heard it yet, please go listen to Music Therapy and follow me on all my social media platforms at It's Rain's World. And I'm hoping that me and Cam can do something amazing. So that's that's the next that's the next thing. So hopefully when we come back here, maybe we'll have some records. Okay.
Yes.
So yes, but thank you guys, and God bless everybody. And I hope if anybody needed to hear this message today, I hope that if you are in a abusive relationship, a toxic relationship, I pray that this motivates you to get up and out. So yes, thank you.
Sweet. Well, I'll be this is like my first free evening to work, so I'm gonna be working today.
Yeah.
You know, so if I come up with something, I'll shoot it over to you, let you just check it out. But thank you once again to for rocking with me. This is episode 43. I told myself I was gonna go to episode 50. It started as just something to do. So I'm glad that you know, like I said, I'm glad that you rocked with me, and I'll definitely send you something. We're gonna work. That's already gonna happen. So all right. So I'll talk to you later.
All right. Peace. All right. Love. Bye.
Bye.